People think that Disney Plus has confirmed a dating thing and what's going on with that. We also have mass hate over some shirtless pictures, and we need to discuss that. And then we have the label HYBE making a statement about some new changes. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Let's get into it. So if you've not heard, Weverse is having some new updates, and they're interesting. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're the best updates, I wouldn't say that they're the worst updates, but it depends on how you look at it. And the internet, when there is something that could be taken either good or negatively, it would always be taken negatively. The goal right now is the label wants to create paid subscriptions for the website. Now, if you're someone who's never been on Weverse or you don't typically use it, we should talk about the actual social media site itself. The site has a lot of issues according to a lot of people within the community. Feelings like it's not moderated, then feeling like people abuse the report button, and several other things have made the site not easy to use, as well as not having the best or the sleekest user interface. It's also a fairly new social media platform that is still, in my opinion at least, in the early baby stages of social media. Of course, all platforms start somewhere, and it's always best to start than not start at all. However, the site, in my opinion, is not exactly ready to be monetized and to make money, which is exactly what the label seems to be trying to do. The label wants to create subscriptions as well as being able to pay to not have ads on the platform. And then those who don't pay will have ads on the platform. This is separate from the fan club subscription that you can pay for on this site that allows you to get early access to things. This is not the same thing as that. There were a couple people who believed that the platform was no longer going to be free, and that in order to access it, in order to communicate with the artists and the community there, you would have to pay for it. And I don't think that that is actually true. I think if the platform intends on growing, if it intends to have artists and labels be able to make money off of the content on that platform, if it's just subscription based, I don't think that that's the best plan. So therefore, I don't think that that's going to happen. The bottom line is ads make the most money for any social media platform, and subscriptions, even though they do cost the user some money, they don't necessarily make the platform any money. So for example, you might pay $12 a month for a subscription, but you might watch 400 videos. But if you were to watch 400 videos without the subscription and watch the ads, you'd probably make the platform way more than $12. And going back to my point where I believe that they might not necessarily be ready to make money, I say this because platforms like Facebook, platforms like Twitter, platforms like YouTube didn't do it right off the bat and started making money. They didn't even do it within their first few years of creation. They waited like 10 years or so before they were really making any sort of money. And it's not like the label doesn't have money right now. They can kind of just funnel money into the social media site and kind of keep it going and have it grow and just have it be a free marketing channel. Because right now, as I said, it's still in the very early stages. People can't even really make accounts. So for someone who is an artist that is looking to join the platform, you would join essentially like a regular account, and you wouldn't be able to post your content on there and have it grow. This is key to getting a platform to grow and for it to grow organically, because if people think that they can grow with their music streams or they can grow their fan pages through using Weverse, more people are going to sign up on the platform and it becomes this bigger thing. But that doesn't seem to be what the platform wants it to be. It seems like they want the platform to just be people that they work with, and then those artists are then put onto the platform, maybe like almost a Netflix or Hulu type of thing, but for artists. Now, the people who were upset about this were basically saying that the platform wasn't very good for it to be monetized. Now, however, there were some people who I recall seeing that were just upset over a platform having to find a way to make money. Now, having a subscription and having ads is not something that I would consider a bad thing. I think it's great if a platform wants to introduce those things. I think it's smart for the label to put money into creating a show with the artist, things like Run BTS or Bon Voyage, put it onto that platform and then have the ads go and have the subscriptions go, and then they can make the money back that they put into the show. So I don't think ads are a bad thing. I actually personally thought that ads were already running. I guess I just didn't even notice whether there was or wasn't. Quite frankly, I don't even notice when there's ads on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. It's just so normalized. There is so much hate going on online. People love to hate and be angry, and that is definitely something that I've noticed. People love to be angry. There was a shirtless picture that was going viral again where it was JK shirtless with his Calvin Klein campaign. There was a comment that was under this post that was resurfacing, and it was someone who was trying to shame JK. And I will say, I hope to meet some of these people one day. I really do, because I would love to see the faces behind people who make these comments. And I would love to know if they actually do fully believe what they're saying, because it makes zero sense to me, half the stuff that's being said. For example, this person writes a whole tweet to talk about how JK is a smoker and he has no shame when he smokes, or has no shame when he sings about sleeping with women. And is he supposed to? Smoking is legal. Having sex is legal. What's wrong with that? You can sing about this unapologetically and it not be a big deal at all. There is no way in the heart of hearts of these people that they fully believe that sleeping with someone and smoking is something to be ashamed of. There's no way they believe this. I don't believe for a second that they have any belief in this. However, it's stupid because what I believe happens is they hear that other people are upset about this. They know that this has been a scandal. They know that there's some backlash floating around surrounding these topics, and they use it as an opportunity to say, oh, this is something he should be ashamed about, without actually processing, is this something to be ashamed about? And none of this, well, he's an idol, so he needs to behave differently. That's not true at all. He's a human being, and there's also been a lot of stuff going on in Korea, which every time a new law passes in Korea, the community likes to somehow make it relate to BTS. One in particular, there is this new conversation going on in Korean politics about same-sex marriage. I don't know if the law has been officially passed, but it seems like they are discussing the possibility of allowing for same-sex marriage after an insurance policy situation went to the Supreme Court involving gay couples, which is fantastic news. I think everywhere should have that. I don't think that should be something that is a debate that people should have. This is obviously a right that people should have. Now, around this time where this debate has sort of hit mainstream, there were some people that had come out very publicly. Apparently there were two actors that I don't know the name of. I'm not even sure entirely if they're actors. I can't find any information about them, but it seems like they did something for Netflix, and they came out and basically said that they were going to be together. These two male actors. For some reason, some people in the community took this story as these two male actors, and they related it to say, well, that's what's happening to Jimin and JK. To some people believing that perhaps Disney Plus would come out and post about the same thing if the two boys, Jimin and JK, were ever going to come out. Now, the actual law I don't think has been passed yet. So for people to assume that Jimin and JK would come out as gay before the law has passed, I would say that that's probably not going to happen, because they'll get backlash even when things are legal. Imagine the type of backlash they get when it's still not legal. However, even if it is legal, I don't necessarily know if they would come out with each other. My personal thing with this whole idea of relationships between the band, and again, I think it's very cute, and I've said this before, and I think that there is still a possibility, but my whole issue with the idea that the two people in the band are dating each other are that the two people have known each other for so long. We're talking like decades and decades. We're talking about seeing each other grow up, having fights constantly when they were younger, fighting about not having enough space, fighting about silly, stupid things. And then now they're adults. They're not going to find each other sexually attractive. Like, no one talks about this idea that they probably see each other as brothers because they literally grew up with each other. So while I'm very happy to see people during their careers come out, potentially other actors come out, and maybe if this law does pass, we'll see a lot more actors and singers come out. But I don't know necessarily if Jimin and JK will be in this realm. I don't think that there will be any moment in the show that caters to that. I don't think Disney Plus will be posting anything related to that, and we'll see. But I just have my doubts. However, I'm very excited to see this show come out. I'm praying that it will come sooner. I feel like it's coming sooner. Like, we know when the date is, but I just want it to feel like it's not so far away. And I hope that when it comes out, there is a lot to talk about, and there's a lot of interesting things, which I'm sure there will be, given that even before it's out, we have this much to talk about already. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. Link down below. Thanks, just leave a comment right here. Love you. Bye.